Welcome to Tuesday. I survived my Monday. I got my swim done, which was good. This morning, I got another bike set. Got about 90 minutes on the bike and a little bit of hard effort today. So we're doing 6 by 6 minutes at 100% FTP with 2-minute recovery between each, and then every second one we've got an extended recovery, which I'm going to need, that's for sure. Part of the morning routine though, coffee. This is, what have I got in here? A little bit of MCT oil and some collagen powder. I find that when I've got these really hard sessions, I need just something a little bit more than just my normal black coffee to get me through. So fire that up and we'll see how we go. Who else gets the old pre-hard session anxiety? I know I do. I think it's a bit of a fear of failure more than anything. Love the tough ones, but it's good when you finish them. So we'll see how the legs have pulled up. I think a little bit tired, but hopefully we'll be able to get through. See how we go. We're in the warm-up. Haven't died yet, which is good. The purpose of today and what we're doing is 3 rounds of 2 by 6 minutes with a 2-minute recovery at 100% of my FTP, so working right on my threshold, which for me is currently 271 watts. So we're going to have some long time spent at threshold, so we're working the top end of our aerobic system and probably just moving over that lactate threshold. I dare say my heart rate should sneak over the top of the old LTHR probably by the 3rd one, I would say. So spending lots of time there is going to help us build some tolerance to lactate. Not like VO2, but definitely going to help. We're also going to help condition ourselves at working at that kind of effort. So, you know, you're in a race or what have you, you're tapping along and you need a climb or a surge to get past someone. So having that ability to hold that 100% and then recover and possibly do it again. And it's not going to be the most pleasant of sessions. Especially early on when you start diving into these sessions, you usually find you get through 4 of them. So let's say we've got 6, so the first 4 should be manageable, and then the next 2 will probably stretch me. Chance we might fail, but it's a good thing because then we're going to know where we are in our fitness. Now, it may be a case of doing it again next week and possibly the week after, till we know that we've got the capability of doing this session. And then we can move on. It's good to see the adaptation when you do that as well. As far as my warm-up goes, I do a 10-minute ramp from 50 to around 65% of FTP. Then I do a couple of 90-second efforts of low RPM, about 85, 90%. And then a couple of 20 seconds with high cadence, 100 RPM at 98% of FTP, 40 seconds recovered. Find that's seems to get the legs working really well, and get you primed nicely for these harder sessions. Again, using Perth Pro for me, I find a huge benefit. I like to see my heart rate response to the effort that I'm putting in. So, for example, today, working at what my FTP says is my lactate threshold heart rate estimate, of course, algorithmic estimate. What's my response? That's going to guide me on where my fitness is at, which is good. So we'll check in during the session and see how we're travelling. All right, I just finished the 4th interval and took all the mental tricks to get through that. I was ready to pull them in after 2.5 minutes. And my legs, I definitely haven't recovered. My heart rate's basically bang on where I'd expect it, so that's a good sign. Yeah, the old legs, they're not happy with me today, so keeping the RPM up is a struggle. A lot of neural fatigue there still from the weekend, clearly. But, pretty happy to get through it. I'll sort of break it down on this bike, and you can do it on a road bike too, I guess. I did 90 seconds on the aero bars, and then try to count 90 seconds sitting up, and then it was a case of counting pedal strokes for the last 3 minutes. I was just breaking it down into imaginary 10-second blocks by counting every second pedal stroke. Some of the mental tricks you got to use to get through it. I'm gonna have a crack at number 5, but don't know if I'm mentally there or physically today, so we'll see how we go. It's been a pretty tough set. Not gonna lie. So, a couple of minutes of recovery, a long recovery, and back into the suffering. I'll see if I can turn the video on so you can watch my face. Well, we got through the session almost. We got through 5 of those little efforts and about a minute of the last one, and that was the end of me. The legs just wouldn't turn, couldn't get the RPMs up. Erg mode kicked in on the trainer, as most of us have suffered, and I'm sure, and they no longer spun. So look, I was pretty happy with it, to be honest, which was cool. Now, breakfast time. That's breakfast, almost done, off to work. What do we got? A bit of a strength session in the Savo, which will be fun. It's my love-hate relationship with the strength session. So my goal is to start it, and then once I'm done, I'm normally pretty happy. But as with most endurance athletes, we don't prioritise it, and even though I've got a pretty reasonable setup, it's just for some reason I don't prioritise it, and I should. But I've been better. I've been a lot better recently, which has been good. Hope you guys are having a rocking Tuesday. Well, I'm motivated enough to be out here and do my strength session, so that's a good start to my afternoon. So what's the plan? Bench press with pull-ups, do some form of row, whether it's upright or something similar, some squats and some deadlifts and some core work to superset between each. Try and do a strength day, which is just big compound movements, and then I'm racing this weekend, but normally I try and do a stability session on a Thursday night, which is more about stability and smaller muscle groups. So single leg work, sideways movements, etc. So I've got to get in and go and lift this huge heavy weight over here, which is what, all of 40 kilos. Ooh, watch me not break squat records. 40 kilos by 6. Huge. Now we're into a few deadlifts. I used to hate them, now I don't mind them. I don't go super heavy, especially after this morning, and my legs are still a bit tired, but yeah. What we're doing rep-wise is we're doing 14, 12, 10, 8, 6 on each of the 3 mains. it's just basic strength stuff. It's nothing exciting. There's no fancy stuff. But yeah, what am I doing here? I've got 20, 30, 40, 50, 55 kilos. So nothing massive, but you know, it's a start, especially with my little legs. If you are doing things like deadlift, can load up your lower back. Make sure you turn your core on. Screw your feet into the floor, create some torsion. Make sure that your knees are stabilised and not turning in. To be straight or out. Turn the core on, squeeze the glutes, move. Without doing that, you just load up that lower back, and that's where a lot of people, a lot of pain caused by deadlifts. That bad technique being way too heavy. So make sure you do that, look after that back. Another thing to consider when you're doing strength exercises such as squats or deadlifts is relating them back to what you're training for. So this is predominantly for cycling. So I'm using what they call the Q factor width, which is the width between your pedals, so where your feet sit. So what I try and do is get my feet roughly in the same width apart when I'm doing each of these exercises. So that way it's more likely to translate through to, in my case, the cycling. Well, if you've got that far, thanks. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learnt something. Do us a favour, hit the like button down there. Greatly appreciated. And I'd love you to subscribe or share with your friends. There's a button up there, down there somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to put it yet. And or hit the subscribe button down there. Hope you enjoyed that. Have a great day. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, so a bit of another recovery day. Get it done.